Oh my gosh. We have another day. We get to do another day. Today is another day to be alive and well on the planet. Another day to be ourselves, another day to be enchanted by life. I'm so happy to be speaking with you, whether you're here at this hour or later, if you watch this later, whatever it is. I'm very happy to connect with you. And lately I've been noticing that I feel the connection of everybody who connects with this information or my energy or whatever it is. Anybody else who is on the path with me, that we're just walking shoulder to shoulder. We are all equals. We are all profound. We are all divine beings. We are all wacky personalities down here in embodying our soul's light. And I'm so happy I get to do it with you guys. So this is Joey Chandler. Good morning. Are you going to ask me a question today? I'm wondering. I'm watching. So the whole point of this live channeling here mostly is to answer your questions, to invite your questions. You know, there's no stupid questions. They're all relevant. They're all reasonable. They're all what you need to know on your journey today to have a good day, to be able to be as good a person as you can be. You know, this is the ride. This is a ride. We get good days, we get so-so days, kind of flat days, we get really great days. And, you know, they're equally important. They all shape who we are as light beings, who we are as souls, who we are as personalities, who we are as our roles and our lives and other lives. You know, they're all relevant. It all counts. And there are no bad questions. So, you know, if you just want to know what is the well, some of the questions that I like to ask for myself is, what's my mission today? You know, what is the highest, best thing I can do today for myself, for others, for my own soul connection and development? Sometimes I just ask, what is the truth about me and, chocolate or butter or bread, you know? And, it's just like the truth will set me free. First, it might piss me off, as my sister says. She's very wise. But, I really do want to know what the truth is, and I want to be empowered by the truth. I want to be able to spread that level of empowerment and to others and to share that with you. Sometimes I do it really well. Sometimes it's kind of sloppy, I'm a human being. That's how it goes. I also have this great ability to judge myself and evaluate myself. And it's a trap. It's a trap. The biggest trap I'm noticing is when I look back at last year or some years before, especially in terms of getting my work out in the world, AKA marketing, which I loathe, basically. Is, comparison, the trap of comparison. I always lose when I compare myself to others. I always, she's thinner and more beautiful and younger, she has better hair, whatever. This person is a better channel than me. This person is a more successful She makes more money than I, she's got a bigger following than I do. You know, like whenever I compare myself, I always lose. So, you know, like I don't want to play a losing game. I'm not interested in that. All I can do is be me and do what I'm here to do and offer my gifts, talents, and abilities. If you want them, take them. If you don't want them, don't take them. Great. We're on the same page now, right? No matter what, I'm inviting your questions. So I'm going to go check out my Facebook page on the big computer here and see if we got anybody asking questions. Love questions. Well, looking forward to receiving your questions. There's nothing up there yet, but I'm refreshing the page so I can see if anybody's commented or something like that. I really want to be with you and help you on this path, you know, and share whatever knowledge I personally have or that comes through me from my guides. I'll tell you what's been fun lately. I've been listening to the recordings of my chapters that are going to be in my audiobook of bringing forth soul consciousness, and I am so excited. They have great energy in them. They have great energy. You know, the whole book is channeled. Sometimes there's pieces of my story or there's some of my experience that the guides have said, oh, put this in here, you know, and I've been directed to do that. And so you get kind of a feel for me. And the information is really fun to interact with. Good morning, Soulful Living is watching. Good morning, Joey Chandler. Yay! I'm so happy you guys are here. But I've been listening to the chapters and they are uplifting. They are useful. They do have good energy in them. And I can feel the energy of the guide that channeled that particular chapter. Basically, there are three entities channeling the chapters. The Akashic beings of light channeled most of them. Anubis also channeled a great number of them. And now and then we get to hear from the great creatress herself. And her messages and her energy comes through. And that for me is a really profound experience. That personally, being able to expand to a large enough size to allow the great creatress, the divine feminine's energy to come through it's a challenge. It pushes my limits. I have to stretch out and I have to be big enough and spacious enough. And I don't have to be detached from my personality and my inner critic to really receive her authentically. I have to say, so in the moment. I pretty much can't have a side track of thoughts going on and interacting with her channeling. I just got to like be that energy that she's transmitting and just like go for the ride. It's quite a ride. So how is your ride today? What do you get to do today? What's fun for you? You know, for me, this year has to contain a lot of fun, a lot of creativity, a lot of freedom. And that feels so important. You know, I worked on this book for over 4.5 years. And you know, even finishing the audiobook is another level and another layer of this book. And then I'm going to have to work on the Kindle version. But I've been pushing myself really hard. And I'm so tired of pushing myself. So tired of sacrificing time to exercise, time to walk in the woods, time to be with friends, and being so rigid and regulated and self-disciplined about, I've got a window of opportunity. I could do this in this old box of time. And then I go to this, I switch gears and move into the care for my elderly mother. And then I gotta go to this, and I gotta switch into making dinner. And, everything's like a compartmentalized life. And I want much more flow. I'm being really urged to play way more beach trips, more vacations, more time off, more time to be and not be so harsh on myself. And so produce. That's very masculine. I don't think that's the way the divine feminine is. So soulful living. She says, you're great. You're great. You're the cat's pajamas. Oh, I just love you. You know how to have fun. You know how to travel. You know how to relax. You're a great example for me, like how to be in your life and enjoy life. And I know that your partner's illness last year or the year before was so profound, and I think must have shaped a lot of how you connected your life last year. I think you're ahead of the game and ahead of the wave of energy, or at least my wave of energy that I'm receiving about, playing more, about living your life as a vacation. And my friend Anna Sui, Tsui, Anna Sui, is leading a group of us through an experimental exploration of how to live your life as a vacation. And part of me has been so rigid and in this programmed, time slots and production oriented behavior and mindset, that it was like, it seemed like a good idea. And some of it's been like, I can't even reach that. I can't even grasp it. But now it's starting to set in. It's really starting to set in because it seems like a really good idea. I make it hard for myself. Soulful Living says, that's why your book is finished and mine is still lagging behind. Nah, may I take the Soulful Living as a question? Because my assessment and my experience of writing this book, I was in a writing group when it started, and I would read chapters, and the teacher even said, and she's very esoteric, she's very on the edge, energy exploration edge. She's can be out there, and I envy her that, and I respect that in her. And she was saying, some of this information is pretty esoteric. Who's your audience? And I asked the guides about it, and the Akashic beings of light said, well, we have to write on the outer edge of the curve, because as time goes by, we need to be that leading edge of the curve. We have to be esoteric enough, because the energy really has shifted. When I started in 2019 to write the book, it was on the edge. And I think right now, it's just saying what's so for right now. And so that the information is there. But the message in this, in my sharing my experience about my personal experience, Soulful Living, is that your book has a birth date, like a date to be born, a date to be brought forth into ordinary reality. And even as you are incubating it, you are incubating it. you are energetically working with it. And they're just like releasing that that inner critic that says you should be further along than you are, or, why isn't my book out yet? Like, that's fine. Just be with that. You do what you need to do for your book. And you may still be gathering, like, I see you like harvesting experience and knowledge and wisdom that you want to put in your book. And it's kind of similar to how you play music. You let it flow through you. It might be a song that other people know, but you might be playing music that's very spontaneous. And your track and your timing is a whole different animal. Don't pressure yourself. Let it flow through you. And if it's not here today, it's not here today. And nothing you can do is going to push it out of you, right? When the energy is ripe, it writes itself. And it may write itself in spurts. It may write itself in pieces. And then you assemble the pieces. And truly, that's what happened. I would channel certain chapters, and I didn't know what the order of the chapters was going to be, and like, was this even relevant, and were they going to hang together as a whole? And when it came time to have the beta readers read it, it really was relevant, and it did come together, and it's like the chapters sort of all danced in a row and settled into where they were supposed to be, exactly, just the way they're supposed to be. So it's like the book that you're writing has a life of its own. And the book you're writing has a life of its own, and it's like tuning into that life that is coming through you. Like, even, you had children, soulful living, what it was like to be pregnant, and really that your body was bringing together all these elements, all these life forms, cell dividing, creating a spine, creating a hand, or creating hair, or brain, heart, all these organs. Your body was building this child. And so it's not an issue. You just like go with the process, and it's not for you to worry about. Ooh, hang on. So the other thing that comes to mind about your book, Soulful Living, is a saying that the divine gave me, and it's that the divine's in charge of time, timing, and the details. That really takes my little personality out of the managerial seat. My little personality really wants to manage everything, wants to have its hands on everything, wants to control. And when I just especially when I get frustrated, I'm much better at letting go and going, all right, whatever, just you tell me when, divine, and I will do it. But if it's not now, it's not now. And then I just go with that, and that's easier on my physical system, my nervous system, my physical body. And it's more fun. I don't want to stress about these things. I don't create better under the harsh lash of my personality saying you should be. This is harsh. Good morning, Shara Renee. Hello, it's gorgeous. I don't have my contacts on, so I keep sliding these glasses on and off. Shara Renee, may I say that I feel you turning such a huge corner. Like, you are just shedding the history like crazy. Like, it's just falling off of you. And what a beautiful thing that is to see. I so pray for your freedom. So pray for you to see you like I see you, as the divine sees you. I love seeing you just let go of things that just aren't serving you anymore. You're powerful with that. You have a lot of training in it, and you're bringing together all those loose in the warp and weft of life. It's as if there are vertical strands and there are horizontal strands, and they get woven together. And I see you bringing together all the loose ends of all the things that you've ever studied and creating and making it your own, and you're empowering it because you're living it from who you are. So that's my message to you, Shira Renee. Soulful Living says, I sound German when you're harsh on yourself. Yeah, I think the name Bachelder, can be seen as Bachelder, as a German name. And I think there is some German there because my grandfather spoke fluent German. He was a Lukens. His name was William Paul Lukens. And he was a serious dude. You didn't mess around with him. He had a subtle sense of humor, which was kind of lost on me as a child because it was a little firm, and that was a little scary. But those elements, those characteristics, German characters, yes, for sure. And the work ethic. In my family, I always said in my family, you shall work and you shall enjoy it. That's the family motto. And if you don't enjoy it, we'll give you some more work until you do. So you might as well dive in and just be in the work, do the work. And so I'm not afraid of work. And so why is it a challenge for me to put that down and not like lash myself, whack, drive myself harder and harder? It's all right to ride the down swells as well as when you have to paddle real hard when the waves get big, and you work harder to take that wave. Years ago, a guy I knew said, Annie, you don't have to manufacture the next problem. You don't have to, hyper vigilantly expect and anticipate the next problem and try to whack in the face before it gets here, or beat it to the punch. Just enjoy the quiet zones, enjoy the soft times. And I think that was really good advice. It's taken me till now to really go, I'm putting that in place. I'm gonna live in this wonderful calm spell. And even if I have to do work, I can be in the calm and still do the work. Let's see. Does anybody have a question? Or are we just going to talk about what I want to talk about? I don't even know what that is. Oh, Soulful Living says, thank you, dear. It helps. I'm so glad. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. One of the things about being a channel is I feel your feelings. I don't have to live them. I don't have to attach myself to them. I don't have to wrap my personality around them, but I can sense them and register them and run it through my system and feed it back to you. And that's one of the gifts of channeling, one of the gifts of being an energy worker, I guess. And Soulful Living, you know a lot about this. You know a lot about this. Shira Renee knows a lot about energy work. She's you should see Shara Renee's list of accomplishments. They're like 9 miles long and in small type. I'm telling you, she's done everything and she's certified in it and she's, really explored it. So, she, I'm validating that. I'm making that even more real. Like you can stand on that, Shara Renee. You can stand on those accomplishments and that knowledge that you've acquired. And, I know that you press yourself hard to walk your talk. And, I think this year, it's the year all this is paying off. This is what I get. It's the year that we get to reap and harvest all that we have sought and worked towards and all that we become in the process, But I think this is the year that we are who we really are. It's really funny. I look at Facebook on my big screen just because I can refresh the page and then see if anybody's written anything up for questions. But it's a little behind in time, and it's not linked to my everything in real time. It's kind of weird watching myself make gestures I was making a minute and a half ago. Okay, what else do we have up here? So why don't you type in the comments, whether you're watching while we're live or you get here later, type in the comments. What one or two things are you really feeling like this is important for this year? What feels like, I don't care what happened last year, I'm doing this year. I'm being this year. Maybe you're going to be more of a friend to yourself. Maybe you're going to be more of a source of kindness to yourself and others. I know for me, I want to simplify. I have a lot of really cool stuff, but I'm starting to feel a little burdened by my stuff, and I'm not feeling uplifted by it, and I'm feeling a backlog, like it needs managing. I don't want to manage it. I just want to get out from under it. So, what one or two things are important to you? I'm going to write that question in the comments here. Is it you want to look at what is important for you to experience and feel for this year? What one or two things are important for you to experience and feel this year? Just write that in there. Soulful Living says being peaceful and help others to heal. No fooling. And look at you. I can see that coming through the Lemurian crystals thing that you did recently, and using that as an MO. Good morning, David Priest. Kisses. Hello to you and yours. You guys are expecting them. Are you expecting a grandchild or a great grandchild? I can't tell. Or that's Craig's daughter. Anyway. So soulful living, the whole Lemurian crystal thing, I think that's going to really explode into a level of healing for others. And whether you do it as a public thing or if you just do it on the private and just on the energy planes, you know, what we do on the energy planes counts. Just because it doesn't show up in my yard or it doesn't drive up in my driveway, doesn't mean it didn't happen, doesn't mean it doesn't count. It all those things count. And even more importantly, my guides often say, do the energy work first. And that might be envisioning it. It might be being in the energy of it, feeling it all through your body and all through your energy sensing systems. You know, that's the energy work first. And that sets the purest tone and the purest vibrational frequencies of what you want to experience or produce or give people or be in the energy of, just because it feels good. It feels really good. There's nothing shameful about wanting to feel good, you know, really. We've all had those moments. God, I just want to feel good. I just want to feel good, right? We've all been there. We can relate to one another on that level. And everything that each of us does individually to feel good, whether it's good in our physical bodies, to have a calm mind and a patient heart, you know, those count and they ripple out to other people. And that's the mark we actually leave. That's our legacy. You know, did I ripple out a bunch of tension and thou shall work and thou shall enjoy it? And if you don't enjoy it, we'll give you some more work until you do. Like, I would much rather be like, man, did I have a good time hugging my pillow this morning, even after the alarm rang, and drifting in and out and going, I know I need to get up. I know how to get up. I was really enjoying that drifting in and out. You know, that counts too. We can put pleasure in the energetic space. Like, I'm saying this is new, but that's because I've been such a worker bee all my life. Even when I was sick, I was a worker bee. You know, I wasn't working, but I was working on it inside. Even unbeknownst to myself, my soul was working on me. So even when I was very sick and disabled with MS, that was going on. But now I'm feeling like I can get so much more done by being happy. I enjoy my life. And I'm really putting it to the test. The divine says she will take care of me and my needs will be met all along the way. That's the deal. That's the deal the divine has made with me to do this work. And my sense is that's the deal the divine makes with you as well. How much can I receive? How much can I actually receive from the divine? And I'm really understanding that self-will driven ambition, work thing blocks and keeps the blessings away from me and doesn't allow me to receive what I can receive in the moment, which may be a little more restful, a little more pleasurable, a little more actually present in the moment. I'm not just a producing machine. So what one or two things are important for you to feel or experience or have in this year? Just write that in the comments. Just let the secret be known. Let the universe know what you want to create. Good morning, Shannon. She says hello. Oh, what a morning. Yes, ma'am. We're rolling now, aren't we? We can dance, we can dance. Yes, Shannon Altman Hood says new direction. I really feel like you are there. You're like this dog whose ears are going, I'm listening, I'm hearing, I'm getting the messages, I'm doing it, I'm following directions. And when we do that, we tell the universe, okay, I'm ready to play. I mean it. I'm serious about it. New direction. I love that. Oh. Betty thought I was in the apartment. I have been sick. Okay. I'm trying to put that into perspective. I really don't have a lot of context for that comment, Shannon Altman, but I get, oh, you haven't been there in a week. Oh, I see you like you're growing in new cells. It took a lot. You had to excrete old cells to make room for the new. And, take it from one who was disabled and sick for 10 years or more, actually. It was going on even before I was quote unquote disabled with MS. There are times when we, under the cover of I'm sick, take time to reorganize and sort the components of our lives and reshape them. I know that every time I had a tubal pregnancy, it was like I took all the elements in my life out of the shopping bag, and I dumped the shopping bag onto the kitchen table, and it was like cantaloupe and quarts of milk and groceries, but they represented parts of my life. And I would take these parts out and go, no, this goes away. Well, I'm keeping this because I'm going to modify this. This part, that I'm keeping this is good. This is still working for me. But, just really sorting what I wanted and what I did not want in my life and letting that be true. Shannon says, tears dripping down my cheeks. Yeah, I know. And it's like a goodbye to an old part of your life. What you might want to notice too is I tend to be, dive in both feet first, no holds barred, baptism by fire, change my life overnight, throw everything out with the bathwater. And you can do it in stages, so that your personality can get used to the new. It's all right to do it in stages, really. And because you know what, at core, you're going for it. You've already promised that to yourself. And if that's clear, and that's the conversation you're having with the divine and what you want to create for this year, it'll happen. It'll happen. And guess what? It's going to take longer than you thought. In my experience, it does. I started channeling in like 1988 or 89, and I've been trying to be a successful channel all this time. And I don't know what success is. I mean, is it the money you bring in? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not terribly profitable. I'm lucky if I make a couple $100 bucks a month doing this. after my expenses. There are a lot of expenses. And oh, don't even ask about the book. I mean, the book has been thousands of dollars. So, but you know what? That book lives in me. That is an expression of what comes through me. That is an expression of what my soul is capable of participating with. And it's part of who I am. It's kind of non-negotiable. It had to come through me. I didn't get to turn away from it. It just came. And it was not in my plan at all. I was not thinking about writing a book ever. I thought that looked like a lot of work. And I didn't think of myself as a writer. And I don't know if I think of myself as a writer now. I do think of myself as a channel. I do. I do. I mean, even when we're quote unquote talking this way, I'm in the energies. I'm feeling it. I always am. It's because I've been doing this for 34 years. And some of your development, all of you, you as the whole, you, the big you, has been going on for years and decades. Let's see. Oh, hugs. Thank you. Thank you. You were pregnant with the book and you gave birth. Yeah. You're saying I am fabulous, but you are fabulous too. And it takes a village, and I'm talking about a global village, for all of us to produce. Oh boy, I'm getting chills when I'm saying this. It takes us all being willing to step a little out of our comfort zone and into the new at whatever rate we can. And I know that I have stepped into the new and retreated, and stepped into the new and tried it out and retreated, stepped into the new and criticized the heck out of it, or criticized the heck out of the teacher, or rejected the teacher altogether, and then reassembled into my energy tentacles into my inner knowing, and really reauthorizing my knowingness and my allegiance to my version of the divine, my version of the soul, the higher self, whatever it is. And we do this all together. And how many times has some little piece of energy or hello or helped me along my path so that I can keep going? And how many times has a little hello from me on your path helped you? We all need a certain amount of support and attention and energy to keep us launched on our path. It's not a graceful process. It's kind of hit and miss. It feels sloppy at times, and other times it feels really targeted and focused. And yeah, that's the ride. The good days, the bad days, the in-between days, those flat days where I wish I could feel something, but I don't, it's all part of the ride. We just have to accept it. Woohoo. All right. You guys are amazing. Without you watching this, there really wouldn't be a lot going on. Ooh, we gained 3 more members. Thank you very much. I'm so glad we're up to 504 people who are interested in soul consciousness. Yeah. And we're very happy. So Living says, you're funny. I hope so. I can be so serious. Oh, when I'm too serious, I feel like I'm no fun at all. So really having other people to interact with brings out the best in me. So, you're all doing a service. You don't even know what a service you're doing for me right now. I bought it, folks. We're all in it together. We're all in it together. Okay. Well, I think that's it for today. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I know the divine sees you as you are. And I know that the divine sees us as the souls and the light and the consciousness that we are. And she created us to be this. And she created us to have this experience of inflation and deflation and growth and pulling back. And, one of the ladies on the Feminine Frequency Festival was talking about everything's a cycle. And I was thinking, well, there's a grounding principle. That's a principle here on the planet Earth. Everything's a cycle. Birth to death is a cycle. Growth, illumination. The trees grow, and then the winter comes and they drop their leaves and they pull the sap inside, right? And they retreat. We're going to do the same things. So we're being flexible is absolutely wow. To enjoy not being so rigidly attached to my own agenda and the way my mind and my programming and my society tells me I should be. Like, I'm a success if I bring in so much money or I have so many people following me. That has nothing to do with it. I'm a success if I love what I do and it's satisfying. And maybe if I can help some other people on the way, that is just, it's just, I feel that in my second chakra down here in my ovaries and in my uterus. If I can help some other people, I feel satisfied. No, I think we're done for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy yourselves as much as you can. I will talk to you later.